Hello and welcome as we are on the completion of the 14th day of June 2019. Friday the 14th is the date. My name is Derek. Welcome to the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades, and of the like. Well, that's within each his own risk and their own reward. For myself, risk reward management is always job number one. And I don't like to gloat too much, but at different times I do. And this is a good time when you don't get too low, don't get too high. But this is one of the days when, well, I realize that I am the goat. Well, at what I do, I am the best in the world. I feel at what I do, or the greatest of all time in what I do. With that being said, if I'm not, then those or that person whom is or are damn good. And in watching these videos, I don't get as many views, and that's interesting. That's fine, and I'm really not in it to like, oh, I want to be big, I want to be famous, I want to have all these views. No, it is surprising that I've done so well, and the viewerships are this low, but that's fine, and you're able to get information that is really good, and we are in the live viewing right now. I feel probability odds show to me that we are probably going to have a nice break above this level of resistance near and above this 10,000 handle. This is the weekly chart. Week is close to the end. It's Friday. We have Saturday and Sunday as well. But we've pretty much matched this exact level in here. The high last week, or the open, better yet. I guess the high is about the same. 87.42. The high right now, 87.39. So we're only $3 away within today's move from that high. On the daily term, we've already crossed through a new day. We're 2 hours into the session. It is 9:52 or 21 hours 52 minutes New York City time, Eastern time, as I'm doing this video. Price action with a huge statement on Friday. As I've been mentioning in here, when I say hold and stay above the 18 lows, that's just another way of saying would it be support in this area, or if you were to redraw the 18 so it's in here, and a lot of other different averages would be. And let's just I haven't done this yet, but this is what I'm curious about. I'm going to edit these, and I'm going to change these, put maybe a 50 period. Didn't want to do that. So let's edit this again. I just picked up my keyboard and it just pushed a button and it did that. Let's go to settings and let's just put this to 50 and see what happens. See, it goes a little lower. I like the shorter term number. I've played around looking at, do I do the bigger numbers in here? But as we can see, notice in the 50 how it finds support in a level like this. So whichever way you do it, well, in here, well, it came down, it held, it stayed above the lows in this part. It attempted to get above the 18 average highs here. It stabilized, holding above it, showing amazing strength period here. And then there we have that amazing breakout pattern yesterday. And so to me, I like the shorter numbers. So I'm gonna bring this back to that of the 18. And another reason why too is moving averages in all forms are a lagging indicator, and but the front weighted helps and different stuff like that. I just like it this way. I can see in here, I see how it was resisting in the highs. Now it broke out above today in today's session, and very nice start so far to what could be within this breakout pattern a big move. And here we have, like yesterday, I was talking about how we were finding support at this area of resistance, lifting off. We broke above this short-term level here this morning at 8 a.m. and nice little pause after the big move. A nice little great move here. Now what are we going to do on this one? We're halfway through the 4-hour period. 2 hours and 5 minutes left, and so far a little bit of pause action so far. But even if it pulls back down to here, it's rising up to this 18, which is well extended from where we are within the price action. We've managed to reach an area of resistance, the lower end of such where we would think we would go, which is the area of this previous high, which would be about, you'd say about 86 or 84.68 area, which of course is above that, and all the way up and piercing a little above the 9,020 or 9,055 high. And it's a live move right now in that we could easily end up having an amazing green candle here. But overall, we are in a situation of just a beautiful breakout pattern, which is supported again within this long-term time frame that is very, very active. In here, 1, 2, 3, and even the fourth good consecutive green candles. Are we on number one here, moving to 2, 3, 4, or something like that again? Or is this going to move in the next one with a superior move that has a big green look next week that breaks above it? All those are possibilities. And as far as long-term analysis is concerned, I covered all that yesterday, and I got a lot more stuff to go over. So I'm just going to leave it at that, and you can watch that for very long-term stuff. The video that says where was really excited about stuff. Alrighty, ARC, man, what's going on with this one? This is very interesting. I missed the move today. As we take a look at this, the daily chart. Wow, now it's starting to go down a little bit. Just give it a view here. Right in here on the 1 hour term time frame, it just pops up from like 663 up to 924. I don't have any sell orders in. Didn't get any sell action, which I'm fine with. And unfortunately, of course, when you have moves like this, you either got to be fast in it or you have to have the orders in. There are no other ways, especially when it just comes up and down like this. 15-minute term, there's the 5-minute term, and we'll do the one and then just go like this. So fast movement. In this 1 minute, someone just bought so aggressively. A little bit of further buying, and now it's just been continuously going down ever since. So I'm trading this with theta. I noticed like 9 o'clock earlier, an hour ago, when I saw, oh, it was like already good at the move, but I really need to sell over like 700. So I ended up putting a sell order for like 740, 750. It could end up working. I'll have to send this back to the wallet that I sent this from. If that's the case, then that is the case for that. And I'm going to talk about ratio trading and just different things a little bit more in this video. But before we do that, LITECOIN is most certainly going to be viewed in this one because it's having a good day. DGB up to 149. It's funny to say up to that. Go coin, man. I passed last night. It was over 300. I was going to sell. Let's wait for the day. We'll talk about that next. That's a little frustrating. But you know what? That's part of the game. You win some, you lose some. Okay, just looking at this now in the 15, and I haven't prepared myself for what I'm going to be talking about on this. This is just a beautiful, beautiful setup. So you follow the action, you take all of this stuff in here, which follows those two periods in here. I don't give a SHIT that this hasn't touched the 18 yet. And I like the 18 because it gives me good clarification of what a good correctionary move is. Well, this is one of the very, very rare times where I can see it not even close to that, and a very, very good, amazing, spectacular correctionary move. And this looks poised, ready short term, to break this level of resistance and, of course, at least get up to somewhere around here. And in looking at this on the hourly term time frame, LITECOIN took a pretty decent size beatdown from this high, as not counting, withstanding this, we'll say. It makes this low, and then resistance. Makes this low, and then a double hit level of resistance. It makes this low, and now we're having the first attempt from this market in a serious break above the 18 average of highs. For it never even really got above it here, just minorly at this point. It had a small break in here, and about 3 periods after it, which it was able to, at that point, successfully consolidate that move. But this is where it unsuccessfully did so, breaking this low. You break a key low like this, you see it in here, you're not surprised to see this, because that's just how technical analysis, that's what I see within technical analysis. And sure enough, it does it. But now that it's been an attempt, and that's all this is right now when you see it, is an attempt to revert the trend, stage one, and we're at least now at stage two. But holding key areas where you came from, at this point, you're also live at this time. I mean, you could have one period where you just continue this green move up on this next hour. We're just starting this hour. It is now 10 p.m. Eastern Time as of the recording of this. And that's because of what it's done. It can do it at any time when these markets, of course, go. One thing you can do is calculate Fibonacci from here to here. So you're looking at about 38.2% and 61.8%. Those are different key levels amongst a retracement move. Within this move, though, the primary trend has been much, much higher. We look at this on the 4-hour term time frame. It's coming up to the 18 average of lows on this, but we're looking at a low of at least here at the 128. Up to this point in here. Again, Fibonacci retracement. And let's just take a look. What's the key low? Oh, it's even lower than that, you would say. You at least have a key low here. You have a key high here. What have you had for correctionary moves? Well, you had what you can determine. Is this a failed breakout, or was this just an amazing stellar correction that succeeded? I say succeeded because it did manage to make this higher low, even matching low for that matter. And then when this thing left the 18, you could, as I was mentioning earlier on the 1-hour time frame, that you can see in here that it had a good move. The attempt, what happened after it attempted it? It had a whole bunch more of a gain, corrected the 18 nicely. Then we had a lot of strength amongst the 18. This little area here was attempts to break higher, which it was unable to do so. But meanwhile, establishing this huge barrier of resistance. Also establishing a huge barrier of support. And as it broke this level of resistance, huge move. A little bit of grinding higher, small little bits of correction, massive move. So coming off of this big move, grinding higher, massive move, we've had this correction so far higher to this. In the situation in which you have something like this, a very nice higher low, any move like that, that works out fine. I'm just going to remove this, the drawing. There we go. If this is able to correct in here, there's basically three situations: sideways, up, and down. And in the sideways spot, maybe this thing settles into some sort of range and whatever format. That's always one of the possibilities. And then you got resisting this area breaking down because it's already now established this layer of support. We've already had a little bit of a correctionary move that if we see weakness down in here, the first thing I talk about of the neutrality is definitely still in play. But if it's not and you break through, then you're talking about filling empty space. And on the bullish level, any type of move getting above here, we're already in a strong situation when we look at this. When we're going to look at this further on the daily chart and so on, that this thing is so wild card ready to go and really test into the 0.02 levels and higher. As we take a look at this on the daily term time frame, we are seeing how the price action after getting above this level of resistance, there's a great move coming right now back down to the 18 average of highs. 18 lows is rising right now at the 145 handle. And it's look to me, and you see this coming to this, you're starting to leave it. It's really difficult to say, yeah, this is a good sell point, or I think it's, or based another way of saying, I think it's going to go higher, so it's not a great sell point, is what I'm trying to say. And then you go to the weekly chart, and we'll scan out something like this. This is where it gets extremely exciting. First, we're going to put a horizontal line in, and I'm going to do so at these key lows, which is the levels from the 2018 and 2019 lows. And now, after the last big high in here, amazing successful correctionary level, which we're seeing within the 18, and we're seeing it leaving this point in here. And we've already seen, of course, on the daily that on this comeback, if it's to leave this in here, and then what we're seeing is leaving this up towards this point. And again, as I mentioned, a test of this previous high, which is noticeably above the twos, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250 handle. And long-term breaking that, it's all wild card again. It's on chartering new territories, which is a realistic situation that could occur, especially with the Bitcoin or the Litecoin halving that's going on. I'm looking to very aggressively have some nice sells ready to go, but I want to be ready for the much greater prices that I do think is going to happen as far as Litecoin against the dollar. Just like Bitcoin, a lot of the long-term stuff is in that other video as well. But next level of resistance is in at 200, and it really highly looks as if that's where it's heading towards. It's going to go to. And these Fibonacci lines are something that I've been able to calculate like a long, long time ago. I've had them in for a long time. I mean, the 126, I might have edited here and there, but I've had it in there for like months and months and months. And in this, I'm seeing how it's lifting off as support at this level and not resisting it. And as I was expecting and stating this, it did pierce below in here. So a very significant move. And really, 150 to 200 is a very much, or 160, 170 now even, is a very much a small, what's the word when you're trying to be like conservative? I was going to say, what's the word for conservative? A conservative target as a small ball number, and then wildcard levels there after that. Anything worth noting here? Qtum at 413. You know what? I should be putting the Bittrex on here just because normally Binance is better because they got all the volume, but this is one of the rare coins where if you want to look at it, it's. I mean, if you got your buys in these 2 times, congratulations. But it really is those 2 buys, and when I look at this on Bittrex, it just makes it a little bit easier. I'm trading it on Binance, so it's kind of better to have that one on there, but I mean, they're only got those lines, and so it makes it a little bit easier, and that's. But this is a tremendous, tremendous setup, and I think it might look a little bit better on like a. This is where I'd like the 12-hour chart, but or 8-hour maybe. Yeah, I don't got any more available, but this level of resistance has been tested quite some time, and it's continuously showing a lot of strength amongst the 18 average. So this is at the like 417 handle, and in looking at such, you have to think at least a move up to about the 53, 54. This level of previous support, and again the Fibonacci would probably even state a little higher. I wouldn't be surprised if it would maybe even come closer to this level in a breakout, maybe the 57, 58 handle. And now let's next. I'm done talking about charts, and I now want to talk about spreadsheets. I will link the. I'll put it more information box. I'll put the code, which will get you these prices. But this is really really cool. Other than the fact that these levels update every hour or so, but it is still pretty cool to have. So these are my crossings, and wow, this is up to 9.6 that difference. Anyway, sorry about that backtrack. These are the crossings that I have, and what this has is the ratios right here. So the ratio of Bitcoin Cash to Litecoin is 309, Dash to Theta 1174, and so on and so forth. And and my favorite crossing that there is this one here, the Litecoin and the Theta. So any type of, like for example, I got my parents into the Litecoin Theta cross, and the spreadsheet they have has, I have on sheet one. On one of the sheets we'll have just the data, so I'm going to put that up. This is one sheet right here. And what it has is the link to the coin market page. That's what it needs to get the price. I will copy and paste this link in here. This is the right in here. I'll put that into the more information box, and that's what gets the price. So equals import XML slash, then whatever row you have your coin market cap link on is what that would be, where it says the and then comma, then it's a double forward slash span, and then in the little boxy things at ID equals slash quote underscore price, and then the data slash USD. So it gets the data. Here's the data here, and within that, so within this that for the spreadsheet, I have 3 different sheets. One that gets the data. 2 which can display the prices. So I have one which would show Bitcoin, one that shows Litecoin, one that shows Theta, and it automatically, a spreadsheet I can set to automatically calculate how many you own. So I would write down in another spreadsheet trades and when Bitcoin and Litecoin comes out, so it can calculate your ownership. And this way, when you do a ratio trade, I'm going to say sell one Litecoin for 1100 Theta or whatever. You write it in, it will automatically reduce one Litecoin from your balance, automatically increase 1100. Give portfolio value for what it's worth. So different things that you can do, but it's within stuff like this. It makes, if you're on a different computer, you go somewhere else, you log into Google, there's your spreadsheet there too. It's available for you. And yeah, again, so you just go to coinmarketcap, you go and click on the coin that you're looking for, and then of course the information box, you will have the import XML link. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye bye.